Yeah. All I need is one mic. Yeah. All I need is one mic.
Hey everybody, welcome back to One Mic, where I watch shit so you don't have to. And today I'm here to talk about season 5, episode 2 of Cartoon Network / Adult Swim's Rick and Morty, entitled Mortyplicity. This episode wasn't as, I guess, fruitful on the depth and social commentary as some of the other episodes are. This one was just heavy on the laughs and ridiculousness, and I really enjoyed it. This episode is another example of how this show loves to take a concept and run it as far as possible to its logical conclusion, and then to its illogical conclusion, and then to a place where it's just virtually impossible for this thing to ever go. And I really like that about this show, how it just seems like it doesn't stop. It's like a it's I can't believe I'm gonna say this. It's it's like a bukkake of like ridiculousness. Like, it just keeps snowballing and snowballing and snowballing, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. And I don't know, this show is ridiculous sometimes. And I love this concept of Rick creating decoys, and then the decoys creating decoys, and the decoys being more and more inferior, and how Rick is constantly like, oh, these decoys aren't a big deal. A decoy would never make another decoy. And then it goes to a place where it's just like, okay, now you got like these Pinocchio looking decoys, you got these Muppet looking decoys, you got this Rick with his skin peeled off. Like, there's so many different crazy things that happen in this episode. But I just want to talk about some of the gags that I thought were the funniest in this episode, because like, there's not too much to discuss other than the fact that it does kind of just snowball and just get worse and worse with the worse in a good way with the decoys and whatnot. But there's a whole lot of other things that I thought were pretty good about this episode as well. So one of the first things that I like is how this show constantly trolls us being the fans. They mentioned Space Beth like 18 times in this episode. And from what I hear, I don't frequent like any like Rick and Morty like message boards or Reddit or anything like that. But I hear that the fandom has been kind of just like, hey, what's up on this Space Beth thing? Like, they want some kind of resolution to whether or not Beth's a clone and all this good stuff. And I don't care. Like, and I feel like the more and more that the fandom says, this is fucked up, can you please give us some sort of closure on this, the more and more likely it is that they're gonna draw this out and make it take longer. Like, they did a 7-season re-up after episode 3, and we've only gotten through one of those 7. They have 6 more seasons to toy with us. I just don't think it's a good idea when a show is clearly trolling us with the whole Space Beth thing. And that's just based off of probably people complaining about it prior to this season starting. And then the first episode not even kind of like touching on it at all, probably just made it worse. But obviously this episode was already made, so they were trolling us about this before it even became the deal that it is now. So yeah, I think it's hilarious that they're trolling us on the Space Beth thing. I don't even care. Like, I kind of think that's the point. Like, I feel like we're not supposed to, it does like it's not even supposed to ultimately matter. Like, does it matter if Beth is a clone or not? No, it doesn't really. Like, nothing really matters in this universe. Like, it's even this episode, it's like it never happened. Like, everything just kind of resets. So it's like, I mean, for the most part, there's some continuity here and there, but by and large, everything sort of resets. So like, what difference does it make if Beth's a clone or not? Like, the best part about Space Beth is the fact that Beth doesn't know if she's a clone or not. And that's all I need to get humor out of it. And the way Rick keeps fucking with her about it makes it even better. Like, so I mentioned that the constant trolling of Space Beth, I think was really good. But I also think that and this kind of ties into the Space Beth gag. There's a moment where like there's like a fart joke, and I hate fart jokes. I'm like, this shit's not fun. Like, fart jokes are not funny to me. But this fart joke was funny because they played it up to where, like, why would anyone buy this? Like, why would Morty think that there's a barcode in Rick's asshole that will help him confirm whether or not Rick is a robot? And look at, like, why would Morty believe that? He looks anyway. Rick farts in his face, and that wasn't what was funny to me. But what was funny to me is how he immediately pulls his pants up. He's like, he says something like, "We're not decoys," and he's like, and furthermore, why would you think that me being a decoy would break me? Like, what am I, your mother? that was what made that funny, was the fact that even to him, like the fart joke was kind of just like a. It meant nothing to him. It was kind of like, yeah, I'm just gonna do this real quick. I'm just gonna fuck with you guys, and then I'm gonna lay some hard truth on you. And I don't know. I found that to be a really funny scene in a situation where, like I said, I don't think fart jokes are funny. So here we go. I found one that was. Another thing that I really liked, and this is probably my favorite part. Well, I don't know which part is my favorite part of the episode, but it's between these two, the next two things I'm going to discuss. The first one, we're still early in the episode at this point, and I'm not sure how far this Mortyplicity thing is going to go, right? So we start off with like them talking about they're gonna like kill God or something like that, and then they get blasted and evaporated, and it's like, oh shit, there's a decoy family, and it goes like that. I think maybe like 2 or 3 times, and then then Rick kind of says something like, all right, we're gonna sit down and watch some interdimensional cable. I'm like, this is an interdimensional cable episode. What the fuck? So I'm like, all right, cool. And they start, the first thing they watch is Wind Wolf. This is a time-traveling wolf. Like, who comes up with this shit, for one? And for two, like, I think Wind Wolf is actually calling it a time-traveling wolf and calling it Wind Wolf is actually really clever. And Morty's like, that's a clever play on werewolf. I've never thought of it that way before. And I'm like, I haven't either, but like, even if I had, I would think like, I don't know. I just feel like I would never arrive at Wind Wolf, like a time traveling wolf. I would never arrive there. And then like they play it out with this Dracula, and they're like, oh, they didn't think this one through. I like that shit. The fact that I'm tearing up thinking about it is probably this would probably be my favorite scene of the episode. But the other one that I'm thinking of is toward the end when they have the Rick that has his skin off, and they free him, and he's like wearing the skin like a sweater, like how people put their sweater on their back and the sleeves will like run over their shoulders. He's wearing the skin like a sweater, and then they go to where the wooden puppet family is at, and now he's wearing it like a robe. Like it's like his head is like a hood, and he's like holding it like clothes, like he's cold, like I'm cold without my skin. What I love about this show is I often wonder, like, how do you come up with this? Like, you have to be on some sort of insane kind of drugs to come up with this. Like, I don't understand it. Like, why are they squids that are attacking people? Why was that Hoofy guy from like, how do you come up with Hoofy or whatever his name was? Like, how do you come up with these things? I just don't know. But, oh man, Wind Wolf took me out, man. Another thing I like was this Asimov cascade, which I did look into that. It's not a real thing, but obviously Isaac Asimov is a real person, a real author. I think most well known for the Foundation series. He has a laws of robotics thing that I came across, kind of like rules for robots, like, you know, you don't kill your master or whatever, you know, that kind of stuff, right? But I like how essentially this episode is an Asimov cascade, and then I like how he mentions like rule 39 or 34 or something of the Asimov cascade is like, he's saying like anywhere we would think to hide, they would think to look. And I'm like, oh, that's really clever. Like, yeah, that makes sense. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then, actually, no, that was the last thing because I jumped ahead with the fucking skin robe. But yeah, I thought this episode was really funny. I really enjoyed, again, how they just take these concepts to their extremes, how they come up with all these random and really odd things. Wind Wolf really did it for me. And the Rick wearing the skin really did it for me. So really fun episode. I expect we'll probably get back to almost kind of, I don't want to say back to normal because it feels like this episode's not part of the show's continuity maybe, but they even trolled with Space Beth at the end. Oh, and then they had that, I don't know if it was post credits, but the scene where essentially this wooden Jerry is going through like these multiple generations of life, and then and he's just being tortured the whole time. Like, and he's like, why can't I die? Like, he starts off like being captured by beavers to build a dam. Then he ends up like on the cross with like a future Jesus or something. Like, again, where did they come up with this stuff? But really fun episode. I expect things to get a little bit more, I don't want to say normal, but a little bit back into the our standard continuity. I am curious if they're gonna do anything with Beth as far as like the whole clone and space Beth thing. But like at this point, I'm not even thinking about it. Like I don't, I'm not. When I say I'm not thinking about it, I'm not expecting it. I'm not gonna go into episode 3 like, oh, I wonder if they're gonna handle this Beth thing. Like I feel like that's something that like if they're as twisted as they seem to be based on the show that they make, they being Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland, if they're as obsessed with this as, I mean, if they're as crazy as I think they are, they might save this space Beth shit till season 10, episode 10, if we keep bitching about it. So my recommendation is just sit back and enjoy the ride. None of this shit matters. It's like it resets every week anyway. It's like getting mad about something that happens on The Simpsons. Like every Simpsons episode is that moment and that's it. Like there's virtually no continuity on that show. And that show does not play with multiverses or time travel or anything like that. So, let the shit go. Enjoy the trolling. It is what it is. Sit back and relax and enjoy it. Smoke, drink, do whatever you got to do. Nothing like watching Rick and Morty high. I haven't watched any of these episodes high or anything like that yet. But nothing like it, man. Just get blowed and watch it and enjoy it. You don't have to pick it apart to that degree. Like, when are we gonna find out about Space Beth? It's fine. Anyway, that's it for this week. I'll see you guys next week for episode 3. Peace.